Oh, hello. So, this is my volcano, Mount Saint Helens, and um, I've actually built up like a tour place to show you around. So let's go into this. Guess it's called I don't know, lodge. So we go in, and the tour intro. Hello, welcome to Mr. TK's tour place. Here we offer the best tours of Mount St. Helens available. As you can go around the volcano, you will find stops that tell you some info about the volcano. You will also be flown above the volcano and get to step into the crater too. Well, what are you waiting for? Let's go. Yep. So, let's go. I'm gonna go anti-clockwise. So this first stop is over there, and while I get there, you can just have a look at the volcano. I've tried making it as accurate as possible. Um, it's not obviously to scale, but I think it's close enough. So here we've got a first stop. So let's get this book out and see what it says. Where? Mount St. Helens is located in Skamania County in the state of Washington, which is in the United States of America. It forms part of the Cascade Mountains. And that's it. So basically it's in America. I actually had a primary teacher that lived there once, and she lived quite close to this and has a jar of ash from it, which is pretty cool. Um, so the next one, what happened when? Well, the eruption happened at 8:32 a.m. on Monday the 18th in 1980, but before it actually happened, Mount St. Helens was actually subject to a 5.1 earthquake that caused the northern side of the volcano to erupt. Well, actually, not erupt. There was a bulge on the northern side, and it just like slid off and caused, yeah. Basically, so the collapsing ice, snow, and rocks rolled down the volcano, picking up velocity and getting bigger and bigger until it formed the pyroclastic flow. This took down trees, lodges, and many houses and killed many people in the area of 150 square miles, so that's pretty big. Meanwhile, the volcano actually erupted and rose to 12 to 15 miles above sea level. It was blown eastward at a speed of 60 miles per hour, and by noon the ash clouds reached Idaho. Idaho is the state right next to Washington, because Washington's is on the west coast of America, so it blew inwards, and yeah, the ash could be found in 11 states across America, right near it. So Mount St. Helens stopped erupting by the next morning, 19th of May. Okay, let me just turn the sound down. Okay, so that's a hot air balloon. You see why I'm gonna use it in a minute. Once I've done all this touring. Um, what? Okay. Um. Oh, that place. What? Don't worry about that one. That has nothing in it. So in the next one, it just talks about how and why the volcano erupted. So the accepted theory of the reason behind the eruption is that it was due to earthquakes which happened before the eruption. Because Mount St. Helens is on the edge of the North American plate, which is right next to the Pacific plate, they form a destructive boundary due to one being continental crust and the other one being oceanic crust. The destructive boundary means that volcanoes can form and earthquakes can happen due to the friction between the two plates. So the cause of the earthquake that led to the eruption was when the pressure was released, creating an earthquake which led to the eruption. Since it also triggered the eruption too. Yeah, because Mount St. Helens is part of the Ring of Fire, I believe, which is like the series of volcanoes that borders the Pacific plate. So you get loads in like I think Indonesia, and yeah, at the edge of the Pacific. So next we have just some facts and figures, I think. Yep, facts. Here are some facts and figures on Mount Saint Helens. The volcano lost 1,300 feet in height due to the northern bulge sliding off. So that's pretty big. There was a diagram on the internet I found, and I think it like nearly lost half of its height, which is pretty dramatic. The pyroclastic flow and debris buried the Tutul Valley to a depth of almost 50 meters. That's the river that runs around it. The entire eruption lasted for 9 hours, and yeah, it lasted for 9 hours, and then because earlier you had all the flows and everything. The eruption affected many living there as well as tourists. So 57 people were killed or are still classed as missing, but they're probably dead. It also affected the survivors since they lost their homes due to pyroclastic flow and therefore losing their money. So they also like suffered from stress and a sense of powerlessness. And 250 square miles of land was damaged. So it cost the US a lot of money to replace. I think I'm quite sure reading was nearly a billion. Maybe not that much, but it'd be $1 billion. A large number of animals were killed. Some say 7,000 of big game animals, so like deer and moose. Birds, fish, and small animals were killed due to it. It had a very big impact on the wildlife around it. So fish were affected because there's a massive lake right next to the mountain, so the pyroclastic flow must have like gotten over that, and many fish would have suffocated or were poisoned or just burnt, since it would have been quite hot. From a story, an old man, I think he was 86 years old, he was an innkeeper. He refused to evacuate, and so he died, and his body was never found. There were still minor eruptions which happened after the one in 1980, so Mount Saint Helens is actually still active, but there hasn't been any other major eruptions that I know of. And this is some ideas that I thought of that could prepare for possible future eruptions. So I think this is my own idea. You have each house to install underground cellars so they are safe. So I think, to be honest, it would be better to hide than to run away in this situation, since they'll probably be running from pyroclastic flow, which is kind of impossible. And the tunnels perhaps can lead to like a meetup like place, so people can look after each other and be more safe. They could also install seismometers to see when there is an earthquake, so they can get prepared earlier in case of an eruption. Have a good communication system so they can easily ask for help, and make sure each house has emergency supplies so they can survive in their house if they're trapped. So yeah, it's quite essential really. And use gas measurers to see the levels of sulfur which comes from the volcano, as there are signs of volcanic eruptions, because like before they erupt, you get high levels of sulfur coming from the volcano. So this is just like a really rough version of the lake, nothing special. This is just a 2D diagram of what I mean by my idea. So you get these grey blocks. They are meant to be ash, like, so you trapped inside your house. You got these tunnels going up to this really this underground place, but it could also be a part of a really strong building that can't be knocked down, and you climb up to a glass dome to look for help. So in the glass dome, so basically there would be ladders, obviously, but I didn't have time to do that. So you would get up onto the dome, and if there is any ash, that covers it, that stops people from seeing you. You can have a water system, water pumps that pumps water onto the roof, and that could clear and get rid of the ash, and then helicopters can see you more easily, and then that they can open like a door, trap door or something, and then yeah, helicopters can rescue you. So now we are gonna so here's a forest because there are many forests surrounding Mount Saint Helens. It is part of a national park or something. It's now a monument, so it's been left for to recover from the state from the eruption. So tourists can still go to it, but they're just letting it to start for wildlife to start there again and everything. Um, it is quite high, so there is snow and everything. And so this is the crater that slid off and blew up. Um, and you've got this. Well, this is where the lava and ash would have come from, into like from the magma chamber and everything. And now we're gonna get up to the hot air balloon. Actually, let's have a better tour of this. So yeah, this was built block by block, although for the top snow I had a program that could do it layer by layer, but most of it is block by block, so it took ages. But now for the top, just to say, everything is built by myself, and yeah, it took approximately 3 weeks to do. So just gonna skydive off it for fun. Yeah, so let's skydive. Yep, it's quite short, and we land in the crater, just random. Yeah. So this is my volcano, Mount Saint Helens. And yeah, so that's it. Bye.